What led me to Masonry? I've been a seeker my whole life, and this was just another one of the doors that I knocked on. And boy, am I glad I did. I started coming around in about 2006, and from day one, I felt like this was the place for me. I've met a lot of people. One thing I'm really proud of is having crossed paths with people who otherwise, if it wasn't for Masonry, our lives would have never crossed paths. So I'm really glad I got exposure to all these men of a similar yet very different background and worldview. And we can come together and work as a unit, as a single, coherent building, if you will. And that's, I think, one of the things that I'm most proud of as far as joining Masonry. What does it mean for me to be a Mason? As a Mason, I've learned that I'm responsible for not only myself, but also my family, my friends, my community, my country, and as a citizen of the world, I'm responsible for this rock that is spinning really fast around the star. So I think Masonry has taught me self-responsibility, has taught me determination, and has taught me to work with others. And I think one of the most practical things I've learned from Masonry is public speaking. For example, they say more people are afraid of public speaking than they are of death. I remember the very first time I had to speak in public. I was so nervous, I don't even remember what I said. It was in front of a crowd of about 350 people, and I was about 20 years old. And I was kind of thrown on stage at a college event, and I had to say things. And I remember it was probably one of the most terrifying moments in life. But after becoming a Mason, a lot of practical skills, I guess you can say, were gained, and that eliminating that fear of public speaking is probably up there on that list. What does it mean to be a member of North Hollywood Lodge in particular? Well, North Hollywood Lodge is unique in the sense that each one of us, and I'm sure this is the case in all other lodges, but being that I'm a member of this lodge, we can see the fingerprint of each Mason that has joined and the contribution they've made. And I think over time, we kind of get that group energy going, and we've kind of been instrumental in leading the lodge to where we each as individuals and also brothers collectively think the lodge should be, or what Masonry should be. So I think the very best results come when we create what we envision in our head. Because a lot of us come here not knowing what Masonry is, but deep down inside we have certain expectations. And when we find that those are in line with the teachings of Masonry, then part of that, going back to that responsibility, you take responsibility and build what you feel Masonry should be. And that kind of is done collectively, but we each take that back home and implement that in our families. We implement that in our work, our school, wherever you might be. And it's contagious because people might not understand what it is that they're seeing change in you, but they definitely feel that change. And some people might be turned off by it, and they are no longer in your circle, if you will, or they're in a now bigger circle. But those of us that have our circles, I think it's a wonderful experience being able to, for lack of a better term, dictate what that circle is and contributing to that circle. And as we grow, that circle grows, and I think, from a point we can just spread out, almost like a disease, but in a much more positive way. What changes did I see in myself since I became a Mason? I think because I'm with myself all the time, or most of the time, it's kind of hard to see those changes. But it wasn't until my wife one day pointed out that I had become a better listener, a better communicator, a more caring father, and just more resilient in my business, in my educational life, whatever it is I might be doing. Masonry has definitely given me the tools, and going back to that personal responsibility, it's my responsibility to utilize those tools to become a better man, a better father, a better son, a better husband, a better brother, both to my actual brother and sister, and also my brothers here in this lodge and beyond. Thank you. No, thank you.